George Harrison wrote Taxman after discovering that becoming rich did not necessarily mean getting to keep the money. Britain's highest earners faced enormous tax rates, and the Beatles' official history places the so-called super-rich rate at about 90%. Harrison turned that shock into a song narrated by a smug government collector who takes almost everything and expects gratitude for leaving anything behind. It was one of the first times Harrison used a Beatles song to complain directly about something happening in his own life. And the political targets weren't hidden either. The backing vocals named Harold Wilson, the Labour Prime Minister, and Edward Heath, the Conservative opposition leader, suggesting that Harrison did not see either majority party as an escape from the tax ban. Wilson's inclusion carried an extra sting. Less than a year earlier, he had nominated the Beatles for their MBEs. John Lennon later said Harrison brought the unfinished lyrics to his home and asked for help. Lennon supplied a few lines, although neither man ever clearly established which surviving words were his. And the recording took way more work than its stripped-down groove suggests. The Beatles attempted 4 takes on April 20th, 1966, discarded them all, and started over the following day. During the new session, George played the main distorted guitar part, Ringo handled the drums and cowbell, and Paul McCartney recorded both the bass and the sharp Indian-flavored lead guitar solo. And an early version had John and Paul singing a falsetto line asking whether anybody had some money. The references to Wilson and Heath were added later. And Paul's guitar solo is one of the song's best tricks, because many listeners naturally assumed the Beatles' lead guitarist would play it. But McCartney had recently been studying blues records and experimenting with ladder guitar tones and feedback, and he shaped this particular solo with bends that matched Harrison's growing interest in Indian music. The Beatles liked it enough to use it twice. After appearing in the middle, the solo was edited back onto the ending and allowed to fade away. Even the repeated title chant carried a small pop culture joke. It echoed the rhythm of the wildly popular Batman television theme. Opening Revolver with Taxman gave Harrison a position normally occupied by a Lennon or McCartney song, and it announced that he was no longer merely contributing an occasional sidetrack. He got to place 3 compositions on that album, and this is the one that turned an accountant's unpleasant news into a funny, bitter, and unusually direct political attack. The situation was real, the anger was personal, and the finished recording succeeded because all 4 Beatles helped make Harrison's complaint sound like a party.